Welcome to Plot Twisted Spicy. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Shawn, and we're here to talk plot twists, questionable life choices,
and what happens when a story invites us to get in between the sheets.
We rate the spice,
judge the twists,
and ask the most important question.
Was it worth the chaos?
Before we start, this podcast is strictly for the grown and sexy. We talk about mature topics, use explicit language, and dive into some very adult situations with plenty of laughs along the way. Recommended for listeners 18 and older. Listener discretion is strongly advised. If you're still here, fluff those pillows. Let's get between the sheets.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Shawn.
How's it going?
Good, you?
I'm good. Welcome to today's episode of Plot Twisted Spicy, friends. We're going to review our most recent read and have fun along the way, obviously. What are you reading right now?
So I'm actually just finishing up the fourth Vampire Diaries book.
The old school Vampire Diaries?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been wanting to listen to it for a long time because I love the TV show, and I've heard that the books are very different from the TV show.
Yeah, I heard they're cringy.
They're cringy, but I think it's hilarious. It's one of those ones where I'm just kind of listening to it for fun and not really taking it overly seriously.
I mean, that's kind of how you have to live, right? I like it. So you're enjoying them. Book 4?
Yep. There's
how many?
So there's 4 original books, but it looks like that there's like additions to it as well. So it's like Stefan's point of view and all that kind of stuff. But I'm only reading the 4 originals because I don't have time.
The TBR is too long.
The TBR is too long, and I only want to listen to the original 4.
So you're almost done.
I'm almost done. Okay. And it's entertaining as hell. Again, cringy because these are like teenagers.
Yeah.
And this was written, I think it was actually written in the 90s.
Yeah.
And yeah, but the differences are very interesting. And so if you ever wanted to go into the differences, you're more than welcome to have a look at the books.
As long as she ends up with Damon, you know? Don't look at me like that. I don't want to know. She ends up with Damon in my heart, always.
Always.
Always and forever.
And then, yeah, I just finished our book club book, and then I finished our book for today. That book club book was...
Yeah, we read this book called Come For Me. Is that right?
Come For Me by C.J. Sweeting.
I believe you.
Yes. Or Sweets.
I don't remember, and I didn't finish it, guys. I DNF'd it hard. I got bored about halfway through and gave up.
You expected it to be more action-packed than what it was, and it was a lot of inner monologue and somehow a shit ton of communication with inner monologue.
Yeah, it was bullshit is what it was.
Yeah.
I'm reading Someone You Can Build a Nest In, or I think that's the name, but basically it's like it's not inappropriate in any capacity, but it's like a story from the quote-unquote monster's perspective. Mm-hmm. So this monster lives underground, and I guess they have fond memories of their father, who was a human, but basically their father sacrificed his body so the baby's eggs could grow in it, right? So she thinks of it as, because she identifies kind of female in the book, she thinks of that as the ultimate loving sacrifice.
Yeah.
But then as things go on, she's very it's very funny because she's very, very blunt and only sees things very much like that guy from that Marvel movie, the alien one with Chris Pratt. Oh, I can't think of it.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and the guy who was a wrestler, and he's very
Yes.
It's like that, very just blunt and oh, keep your feet on the ground. I don't know why you said that. My feet are always on the ground. That's kind of the vibe. Anyway, this monster gets annoyed because people come into her cave while she's hibernating, so she eats one of them, but he's covered in rosemary, and that's something that she doesn't like. Anyway, so she leaves and she runs into this woman, and this woman is basically she falls for this woman, but it's very funny because she decides that this woman is her love. She's like, oh, this is what love feels like. I understand now. I must build a nest in her. And then something will happen, and this girl has no idea, and she's like, oh, I must protect my girlfriend. Oh my god. Meanwhile, they've never had a romantic interaction of any kind yet at this point, but she throughout it starts to feel things, or human feelings, and then she finds out from like a different person's perspective that like basically she finds the person who was like partners with who her father quote unquote is, and she's like, this monster took my husband and laid eggs in his chest and I lost him forever, and she in her head is like, wait, that's not a noble sacrifice? He didn't love me? What? And so she's kind of dealing with that, plus like dealing with the fact that she has like feelings for this person and she thought she'd want to build a nest in them, but now things are a little bit different. So it's really good.
That sounds cool.
Wildly strange, but it's very good.
Just a fun, just a different take on that side of things, right?
I think so, and it was on Spotify. It's really good. I'm like 85% way through it, I think.
Oh. Perfect.
And then I didn't finish our book club book, but I did finish our annotation book and this book. And that's where I'm at. I need some new books this week, so I'm glad we're here.
Glad we're here.
Yep.
We have a new book club book, which is a lot of fun.
Yes, something Seas.
Yeah. Seas of Ruin. We are doing pirate themed this month.
Yeah, pirate themed at the Spicy podcast, Spicy Book Club pirate theme. So we'll do that. And today Tyler is in the lead chair. We're in different spots, which you can't see, but for us feels very strange.
It feels very weird. I don't like not facing the window. I need to know if somebody's coming through that window, apparently.
That is so funny.
I don't need to know if anyone's coming through the door. It's just Jake.
Just Jake.
Just Jake.
Good old Jakey.
Oh my God. So, to start off the podcast, I have a little thing for us. Just a quick, easy, fun little thing. I have a this or that.
Oh, I love a this or that.
This or that book edition. Some of them are like mostly what you would expect, and then others I did kind of throw on the fly, so we'll see if it works out.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, this or that. Hardcover or paperback?
Hardcover. But I'd rather read paperback, but I prefer to collect hardcover. So that's the tough part. Continue.
I see. I'm a paperback girly through and through. I like the visuals of the hardcovers and stuff like that, but also while I'm reading it, I'm like, I prefer a paperback.
Yeah. I agree. It's hard. That's a hard one, but I'll stick with what I said.
Bookmark or dog ear?
Bookmark. Ew. Absolutely not.
I had to ask.
I annotate my books and I still think that's blaspheme.
Right? Yeah, no, I am a bookmark person all the way in.
Why dog ear when there's so many bookmarks? Just use a receipt.
Yeah. That's what I did for years. I never used to use bookmarks. I used receipts from the book. Like, I think I still have a receipt from high school
and
in one of my books.
Costs. I used to use my movie stubs. That's my age is showing.
I like it. All right, next one. Standalone or series?
Standalone.
Standalones. When I'm in the mood, I love to commit to a series, but like it's just nice being able to just be.
My vibe recently, and is that I feel like the book world is so oversaturated, and series are not being as well written as I feel like they maybe used to be. Like they're getting pushed out in the publishing world a little bit quickly.
No one's taken their time to actually.
Yeah, and there are a couple authors out there that are pushing back. Like, I think it took Sarah J. Maas, like, years to finally drop these next books that are coming out. But, like, in the, like, Quicksilver series, like, I'm pretty sure I don't know anybody who really enjoyed Brimstone. So, I would like to say series, but not in this current book world. So, definitely standalone for me.
Fair. Yeah. You know, I mostly standalone, but I do love a good series every now and then.
Yeah, if it's good, yeah.
Get right in the mood. I think other than Trial of the Sun Queen, the last series I really got into was Baron the Nightingale.
Okay.
I loved it.
I was told to start Red Rising.
My partner really loved it. He loved it a lot. I'm debating on trying it out.
Okay. It's apparently really long. There's like 8 books or something? 6 or 8?
I don't know how many books are out currently, but I know it's supposed to be a long series. But
anyway, yeah.
For some reason, I thought there were only 4 out, but
no, there's at least 6. I think because I was just on Goodreads earlier. So I think
fair enough. So yeah, long series. I don't know if I want to. That might intimidate me. I don't know if I want to commit that long. All right, next one. Are you a morning reader or a nighttime reader, or what would you prefer?
I would prefer mornings. I'm more awake and like actually absorb it. When I read at night, I tend to fall asleep and then I need to go back.
Fair. I prefer mornings as well. Just be like on a Saturday or Sunday morning, getting up, getting coffee, sitting on the couch, and reading my book. Unfortunately, working, you can't do that as much, so I settle for nighttime.
If I ever get a hammock, I'll just lie outside and in my hammock in the morning with a blanket. Oh, the dream.
Libraries or bookstores?
Crap. I like both a lot. I want, like, okay, when you say this or that for that, do you mean to visit or to like consume?
We'll say to visit.
Oh, then libraries.
There we go.
I love libraries. I think they're so fun to visit and they have so much like options.
For this context, we'll say visit.
Because if it's to consume, this bitch wants to own her books.
I know.
Damn it. I want to be like the person who borrows from the library, but I'm worried I'm never going to find it again.
I went through a phase where I tried doing it. If I could find it at the library, then I would borrow it. And if I couldn't find it there, I would buy it. But now that I have like Kindle and all the different audio areas, I'm like, okay, well, I kind of want to own some more.
Yeah.
Audio books or physical books? Kindle's included. Like physically reads.
Audio, probably. Because I actually, like, if you look at my statistics, I consume more audiobooks than anything. But I genuinely like the feeling of holding and reading a physical book.
You know, kind of same for me. I prefer a physical read, but time-wise, audiobooks are just...
And I have a commute, so it's like, of course, I'm going to I drive 40 minutes, so I'm definitely going to listen to an audiobook. And I recently started listening to them on 1.5 speed, which you already do, right?
I do.
So at first, I used to listen to about 1.1, and I was like, woof. But I realized it just takes a minute. Like, you just need to adapt. Like, the first, minute or two is weird, but then your brain, clicks with it, and you're fine.
See, for me, I do the 1.5 because my brain likes to wander. And if the narration is too slow, I will drift off.
So will I.
And then, so because it's faster, it's like, oh, I have to keep up.
Yeah, it keeps you focused. It, actually weirdly keeps you in it more, even though, the voice is sped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, too. I totally can't believe I haven't been doing that sooner.
I do it for podcasts as well. I
haven't done that, but I maybe will.
Yeah, because I didn't. So I did it by accident one time, and I was listening to a podcast for way too long, being like, man, these girls really talk fast. And then I realized I was putting it at the 1.5 speed. I put it back to the regular, and I was like, oh, no, I need it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know a few people listen at 2 times speed. I don't know if I can get that good, but...
I don't think I'd be able to do that. 1.5, I think, is a perfect speed for me. Long chapters or short chapters?
Short. I want a potato chip.
Yep. I tend to, if I'm reading, I'll be like, how many more pages left in this chapter? And then I'll be like, okay, I can finish this. Or if I want to finish at a certain time, it'll be like, oh, I have 5 minutes before I kind of have to stop. Or sometimes if I'm in the middle of chapter, I will go over a couple extra minutes till when I said I was going to be done reading in order to finish. Yeah. And so it's easier with the shorter chapters. And you can be like,
I just feel like I've completed more, achieved more.
Accomplishments.
Absolutely, yeah.
Book to movie or book to TV series?
TV series.
That's where I'm at.
Way more opportunity.
They're able to get more of the details into the series and everything like that, and so I've really been vibing with the books to TV series, especially if there's multiple. It just makes it so much easier.
I agree. Yeah. So I don't know how I feel that they're dropping a new the Harry Potter show. I haven't seen or heard anything about it, and I know there's a lot of controversy around that anyway, because those movies were so good. They're one of the few where book to movie adaptations, the most excellent Lord of the Rings. Most excellent.
There are certain book to movie adaptations that stand the test of time.
Jurassic Park also.
Yep.
Of the originals. So there are very few, but I could maybe name 5 ever that I was like, these ones nailed it. And other than that, TV.
You're just kind of like,
This should have been a TV show or not have all happened.
Right?
Yeah.
I hear that Corey Runs Roses is going to be a TV
Avatar?
show. Yeah.
I have no idea. I've heard something. I would watch it. Probably be better show than a book.
Because they have a shit ton of books, don't they?
There's 5 and 2 are coming out. And I think there's going to be more. There's also another series that intertwines with it.
Oh, Throne of Glass?
City of something.
Crescent
City. Thank you. City of Bones. That's not what it is.
I love how I'm like, I've never read any of the books, but somehow I know all the titles.
Book talk.
Alrighty. DNF or hate read?
DNF. And I hate that I did it. Mic drop.
I almost never DNF a book.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys.
I don't know either.
One day we're all gonna die. Why would you waste your time?
I don't know. I think it's one of those moments. Like, I'm not a big completionist person, but I am for books.
Yeah,
so even if I hate the book, because even if I hate the book, I'm like, I need to finish this book. I need to know what happens.
I will not finish our book club book, and I got over halfway through.
Maybe it'll redeem itself, and never does. But I try. When you finish a book, wait a day or two to start a new book, or start a new book immediately?
That's a tough one. I'm going to say on average I wait a bit because I have to deal with like the book hangover usually. Mm-hmm. However, if I'm already in the middle of multiple books, because that does happen, I feel like it's easier. Like, so last week I had to finish the podcast book and the book club stuff and the annotation book, but I had started all of them. So I finished one and then like 20 minutes later started the other one, even though I had already kind of started it. Mm-hmm. But if I have nothing else and I finish a book, I need like a filler day, or like I need to process. Sometimes I need to close a chapter and go clean my room or something just to process it. Like, I'm not even done the book and I'm like, I need a minute.
I need this.
So definitely, more than likely, I would take the hangover time.
Sounds good. So for me, it's like if I finish it one day, I will wait until the next day unless I need extra time. So it's not like, oh, I finish and start a book in the same day, or like jump to my audiobooks right away sometimes. But
okay,
mostly I try to give it the afternoon.
Just like process.
Yeah.
Like I'm buffering.
Like, I just need a minute. Mm-hmm. I know the answer to this one. Book trophies or give away books after reading?
Who is giving away their books?
Kelly.
No. See, okay, here's the thing. I don't like the term book trophy, because to me, book trophies are like you read the book on Kindle Unlimited and then you buy the special edition and you never crack it. You never open it.
I'm more thinking in the sense of like you read it, you own the book, you read the book, and you keep the book as like...
I keep it because I annotate most of my physical books.
Fair.
And to me, genuinely, I feel like I'm never going to find it again. Like, I feel like that it's going to end up in a book burning. And like, I'll be like, there was this book back in 2003. And people like, that book didn't exist. And I'll be like, I'll find it.
I have it here somewhere.
I'm like, it exists, man.
I promise.
So that's my brain on that one.
That's fair. Book drink or book snacks?
Drink.
Yeah.
How can you read with a snack?
I see it all the time online that people like do these like crazy snacks for while they're reading, and I'm like, I would be afraid to get my dirty fingers all over those pages.
I've seen people eat their snacks with chopsticks, but then I'm like, how are you holding the book?
Yeah.
If you have tips and tricks on how to eat and read, sure. And like, yeah, okay, Kindle, I get that, I guess. But I still don't want to get like chippy, crummy fingers on my Kindle.
No. So yeah, kudos to the people that are able to do it.
I have gotten into a bubble bath with a bowl of ice cream and listened to an audiobook. That's the only way I've consumed it.
That's what I do too. I'll be in the bath and I'll listen to an audiobook, but I bring like a couple chocolates or something like that. Yeah. Always in the bath with me.
Ice cream in the tub is this weirdly lovely experience. Give it a shot sometime.
I'll have to.
I don't know what it is. I like really hot baths though.
I'll have to try it out. Kindle or physical book? Well, ebook or physical book?
Physical. Let's get physical.
Physical.
I'd rather have physical, but I read faster on a Kindle. I don't know why. I'm always faster on a Kindle.
That's fair.
Fair.
I am faster on the Kindle.
I think it's a thing across like everywhere.
Yeah.
People tell me that all the time.
Like, I remember when I was thinking about getting a Kindle, I like kind of put it out online asking, oh, like, why shouldn't I get a Kindle? And then almost everybody, you will read the Kindle so much faster. I've been through 200 books this year. And I was like, I don't think I'll ever be that fast, but I do like that.
Honestly, the thing is that there's so many pros with your e-reader, but it's still a physical book is still like the e-reader's not a physical book.
There's something about holding a physical book in your hand and smelling the pages and
it's so inconvenient because if you don't have a light, you can't read it. Like a Kindle Kindle really does have a lot or e-readers have a lot going for them, but it's not a physical book.
Unexpected death of a character or unexpected betrayal of a character.
Like which one hits me more?
Yeah.
But betrayal. Sorry, betrayal.
Unexpected betrayal.
Yeah. And those like are the ones where I'm screaming at the book. Like,
yeah,
I might whip it across the room.
What the hell?
I'm a physical reader. I like kick pillows and like make noises. And my husband's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "He just kissed her." Like losing my mind.
You're like, why?
It's very physical and like reactive.
Right. Book talk or bookstagram?
Bookstagram.
I was curious because you have like the accounts on both, whereas I've only ever used mine on TikTok. So I'm like, oh, what do you like better?
For scrolling, I prefer TikTok, but like I'm never on it. I just forget it exists. But I'm on Instagram all the time.
That's fair.
I think it's my age.
Maybe.
I don't know. I guess we're the same age, but
we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just know that you use both for your account, so I was curious.
It's a good one. Good question.
Book review videos or book recommendation videos to watch?
Recommendations.
Yeah, no, I prefer that too.
Yeah,
because I'm like, give me a reason to go buy a book.
Which is a bad omen for our podcast at the moment. We're reviewing stuff and we both prefer recommendations. We might pivot, guys.
We're just going to give recommendations from now on. Screw the reviews.
We'll have a plot twist spicy recommendations corner.
But also I think there's something to be said, like because we do reviews, maybe we don't want to watch them as much because we're doing them.
And I was talking to this girl who does like she listens to deep dives on books, and I just don't care. Like, I do not care.
Do you like it? Should I buy it? What's wrong with it?
Yeah, that's why like Book Talk or TikTok, Book Talk, or whatever, are good, because those are quick little like snippets of what you could possibly read. If you like this, read this. Like, I like those ones a lot.
I like those too.
Yeah.
Or if you like certain TV shows or movies, and then they give you a list of books that correlate.
Like, you like The Little Mermaid? Here are all the retellings you should read.
Perfect. Buy a book based on their cover or buy a book based on the description.
Cover. I don't want to admit that.
I do that too.
All the novellas I made you look through are literally because of the covers.
Yeah. And some of the ones I picked, I was like, oh, I love the cover. But and it's actually really bad for me for TikTok if I'm like scrolling through and it's like, if you like this vibe, and it just like gives the vibes of the book. I know. I'm in. I'm sold. I don't know what it's about, but I like it.
I know. And so that's so funny because the main reason I picked the book like A Person to Make a Nest In is because the cover is so crazy looking. That's why I picked it. I was like, that one. I don't know. I don't want to go read a bunch of the backs of books.
That's true. It's
the cover pulls me in, and then I decide if I'm gonna read the back.
There you go.
Oh God, she's laughing.
Because I already know the answer. I just wanted to put it out there. Annotate books are clean pages.
Sorry, Stephanie. Annotate. She's highlighting it before I answer. I love annotating books. Oh, that was me, guys. Another bottle. I'm gonna do this every episode. It's not spilled, at least this time.
Yeah, water bottle is not open.
I think more people should annotate books. I think everyone should get into it. It's great.
Well, we are with our book club, so
yeah, well,
we're on the way.
See a nice pile of shelved books over there, Tyler. Get into it. Get some sweet pens.
I do have some sweet pens.
He's like, absolutely fucking not.
Don't touch my books. Multiple books at the same time or reading one at a time?
Multiple.
Yeah.
I used to be one at a time, but now technically it's one at a time, but it's one in every style. So like I have an ebook,
That's what
a
I
physical book, and an audiobook.
Yeah. That's how I like to do it because I generally have a physical... Well,
Yeah, go again.
yeah. Let's try that one more time. I usually have a physical book on the go, a Kindle book that's open, and an audio book always going.
The only time I have two of a kind is when Spotify runs out of hours and I can't finish the book.
Yep.
So I've started a different audiobook while I'm waiting.
I do that all the time.
But that's the only time, like and that's the only really reason usually. There are people who have like multiple physical books going.
Yeah.
That's weird.
A lot.
Who are you people?
I can't. I personally can't do that.
They must have so many bookmarks.
Either that or their backpacks are heavy as shit.
Do you reuse your bookmarks, or do you like, is that bookmark dedicated to that book?
I generally have certain bookmarks for certain genres. Like I usually have a specific bookmark for Stephen King.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then I have another bookmark that's for all the other books.
I
The way it is.
use a bookmark, and then that bookmark lives in that book forever.
Okay.
And it never leaves. And then I just get a different bookmark for the next book.
You have a shit ton of bookmarks.
One in every book I finish.
There you go.
That's why I used to use receipts
That's good.
in my movie stubs.
If I used receipts, the receipts stay in the books. But bookmarks, they move around from book to book for me.
Okay.
Rereading a book you love or reading new books?
New books. I want to be a person who rereads books I love, but I don't.
I used to reread books a lot, but the TBR is becoming too big.
That's the problem. There's so many books now. Like, I go to pick up a book I really loved, and I'm like, I don't have time. I'll listen to the audiobook before I physically reread it.
That makes sense to me. I
'Cause,
mean,
like-
if you're going to revisit it, do it through audio. That makes
And
sense.
I will re-listen to books to fall asleep. Like, I've listened to The Secret Garden and Pride and Prejudice like 30 plus times, because if I fall asleep, I don't feel like I have to stay, like, I know the whole book.
Yeah.
So I don't need to, if I fall asleep, I'm not missing anything.
Do you ever have dreams about those books, falling asleep to them?
No. Great question.
Yeah.
I used to have night terrors as a kid. I listened to The Secret Garden every night for 4 years, and I've never had a dream about it.
Yeah, no. I was just curious because falling asleep to that, sometimes your
Yeah.
brain is like,
That's a
Connected.
great question. No, I might now, but it might just be based on our conversation today.
limited edition covers or signed copies?
Of both. Signed copy, if anything. Like,
Yeah.
I would rather meet the author or have it signed.
Yeah.
And I don't like book plates.
Oh, right.
I understand it's like a convenient option, but I feel like the book's not signed.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
The book's not signed.
Or
You signed a piece of paper. The book's not signed.
the sticker.
The book's not signed.
Because I remember us getting that for one of our book club books.
Yeah, and
we
they got
were
a book plate because the author doesn't have to go physically sign the book.
Yes. And I'm like, well,
I just don't think I think it's of less value than an actually signed book. Personal opinion.
I know it's supposed to save money and stuff like that for the author, but I also feel
They can save money somewhere else, whatever.
I think the fans would prefer the actual signage rather than just slap it on.
Yeah, I agree.
Reading in silence or reading with music?
Okay, so I'm ADHD. So for a really long time, I thought reading in silence was the best, but it's reading with ambient music that's the best for me now because it drowns out other things that pull me out of my book. So I can't listen to word music though.
No, there's never any words in any
I
of the
couldn't
music
throw
I
on
listen
Britney
to.
Spears. You just wouldn't.
Oh God, no.
But some good lo-fi or ambient music, I'm in.
Yeah, I like reading with music. I'll pull up YouTube and I'll try to theme it with the book that I'm reading.
Yeah, I might try that. That's great.
I just think it's fun. It's just a fun addition, and I was when I was listening to Wet Hot Alice Summer, I was listening to the Jurassic Park theme songs.
I mean, that's amazing. I mostly listen to the soundtrack from Pride and Prejudice. For most of the time.
But yeah, that's what I always do.
That's amazing.
Apparently I wrote this down already. Never mind. We're skipping that one. Apparently I wrote hardcovers and paperbacks again.
Oh.
Apparently I didn't realize that.
Well, I guess I'll change my answer.
Time to change. TBR list or mood reading?
Technically, those are different things.
Well, there's like people do like monthly TBR, so we'll just say that.
Oh, okay. No, mood.
Mood.
I would make one and then skip all of them, depending. Like, I could, but I have a TBR.
I like making TBR lists for the month, and then I like revisiting to see how
What you did.
Yeah. If I actually stuck to it, or if I just went off.
Yeah, I would definitely like making them, but I wouldn't hold myself too accountable to following it. I don't think.
I think some people take it very seriously, and I'm just kind of like, oh, this is what I'd like to get to. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. Is what it is. Reading a book you already own, or go buy a new book to read it.
See, I want to be economical here,
but
I'm not gonna be able to pick the one I'd like to say. I'm probably gonna go out and buy a book.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I would like to be more of the other one. I'd prefer to be a person who looks through their already existing books, and I'm getting better at that.
Yeah.
Not enough to make it the actual choice.
Yeah. I try. I will say, like, I haven't been buying as much books lately, but now I have Kindle, so I'm just reading on my Kindle, not reading the books on my shelf, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Third person POV or first person?
First person. Ugh. Third person's cringy now.
Yeah.
I know so many books were written that way. It's tough though.
Reading on the couch or reading in bed?
Reading in a hammock.
Not an option.
Couch, I think.
There you go.
I do like an early bedtime, but in my head it's like what you said, getting up early, having a coffee, getting on the couch. You have to like your couch, I guess.
Yeah. I love reading on the couch. I love reading on my reading chair. Basically, I only read in my bed if I'm like, I think I'm going to doze off soon. And then that's usually when I pull out the Kindle and I'm like, just like scrunched up. And then last one is, I apparently have two more. JK. Character-driven book or plot-driven book?
That's based on my mood, but most of the time I like a plot-driven book that has like good character in it. Good character arc in it, I think.
I feel that there needs to be something.
There needs to be something more going on
than just people, because that's when you get all the inner monologue shit, and you're just kind of.
And also, just like it doesn't feel like a story. It's just, nah.
I'm just thinking. I was like,
yeah.
And then last one: spicy book or no spice? Curious. Because we read a lot of spicy books, but we also read non-spice.
Not spicy book.
There you go.
I like my spice, and I'm happy to have it take over my life, but I love a good story. Just a good, old-fashioned story. Yeah, for sure. That was good! And then you hand-wrote the whole thing.
I did.
Good for you.
I was only gonna do half the page, and then I kept going.
That was awesome.
So that is our this or that for this episode.
For this or that episode.
This for that.
So, if you have a this or that, let us know. You can always check us out on Instagram and send us a message. But, getting right into it, today's book was, or this week's book was, Scream for Me by G.M. Ferry.
Yes. Yep. Hold on.
Get the synopsis because we're recording on my phone, guys. So Tyler has to get it for me.
We had some technical difficulties, so we are doing the phone.
We're recording on my phone for the first time ever.
So hopefully it sounds good for you, friends.
For you, my friend.
For you.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Tyler's gonna read us the synopsis.
Right. I'm gonna get cozy here.
We're not in the bed or on the couch. On the couch.
On the couch. Maybe someday we'll sit on the living room couch when my boyfriend's not here. Anyway, so Scream for Me by GM Fairy. The Harbinger? Sorry, I'm like...
Harbinger.
Oh my god. I was like, Harbinger! I was like, that's not right.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, take 2. Scream for Me by GM Fairy. The harbinger of fear, the predator of the night, I feast on human terror, drinking in their screams like the sweetest nectar. But when I stumble through the portal into her room and hear her cries of pleasure, a far darker primal hunger takes hold. She belongs to me now. I need to hear her screams like that again. I will even have to break her apart. What?
Even if I have to break her apart.
Yes, thank you. My brain did not brain there.
That's okay.
The woman stolen from her world and thrust into the realm of nightmares. I felt it. Eyes on me from the darkness, golden and unblinking from the shadows of my closet. The thought sent a shiver through me, twisting into something illicit as I thought. Whoa.
Illicit as.
Yeah, illicit as I bring. Oh my goodness, illicit as I bring as I let my fingers wander. But when he pounced, dragging me into his cold, merciless world, the thrill turned to terror. Now he demands my pleasure, my screams, but I refuse to surrender without a fight. Monsters of Darkness is a shared world full of monsters roaming in the dark of night. Well, I'm not reading the rest of that because that's...
Basically, they're all interconnected books,
Yeah.
but they're like all standalones.
Yep.
So, favorite fact about this book is the dedication. You guys may not know this, but Scream for Me is a monster romance inspired by Monsters, Inc.
And I didn't know.
I had no idea when we picked it. I had no idea until I read the dedication. It was... I can't remember the dedication off the top of my head, but it's something like... For those of you who loved the voice of John Goodman as Scully. And I was like, what?
You're like, why? So when I read it on my Kindle and it didn't send me to the dedication, it jumped straight to chapter 1 for me.
So you didn't know?
So I didn't even know. But I read the first page and the first line I wrote was, Sully from Monsters, Inc? ? And then flipped over to the next page and kept reading. I was like, yes.
Wait, is his name Sully in Monsters, Inc?
It's Sully in Monsters.
So in this, he's Scully.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's why when he was like, my name is Scully, I was like, no.
I thought it was the exact same.
No.
Well, that's my memory.
So he's
Sorry, guys,
Sully in Monsters, Inc., Scully in this book.
Okay. So... What did you rate it?
So when I finished it, I rated it a 4. But I loved it.
Okay, so you gave it 4 stars. Did you give it a pepper rating?
My pepper rating, hold on, I don't have it on
Tyler's
here.
still working on her own little references.
I've made a pepper list, I just haven't put it in my book yet. Because I'm still working out the kinks on how I want it to be.
That's allowed.
The 0.5s and I'm debating on what to do with the 0.25s and 0.75s.
Oh, I don't have that at all.
Yeah. Well, I have it right now in my notes as 0.25s and 0.75s are where the lines are blurred and I can't decide between the two ratings.
There you
As
go.
of right now. I would say it was spicy.
Spicy.
I would say like I would say maybe like either a 3.75 or a 4.
Okay.
Spice.
Okay.
Just because it was a lot of spice and she was detailed, but
Yeah.
she also wasn't like it was like, other than the monster, it wasn't overly other than like the monster elements,
Yeah.
not overly crazy or like taboos or anything like that. In my thoughts.
Okay. I put 4 peppers. On my little rating thing, I wrote 4 peppers, more than 4 spicy scenes, descriptive and may add toys. So that's where my 4 is.
Because, yeah, I have the 4s as kinks starting to get introduced, but not like 5.
Yeah.
Which
right?
is like more crazier stuff.
I rated this mother truck of 5 stars.
Yeah.
Obsessed will most likely become my personality.
Yeah.
That's my 5-star description. I loved this book.
This book was fantastic. Because,
could not get enough. I loved it. I wanted to read it at every opportunity.
Because, what I wrote here was just like, what did you take away from this book? Is like, I want to read more of GM Fairy's writing.
So, because I have that like little printout, right?
Yeah.
So, what did you think of this book? I loved it. Honestly, I feel like it could have been longer. Like, I felt like she could have. It was good. It was great, and it could have been more.
It could have been in a full book, and I would have kept reading it
easily.
100%.
Absolutely, easily could have been a longer book, and I would have been into it. Mm-hmm. And I just could not like get enough. I was like, oh no, I'm done it. No, I'm so sad. And then I was like, oh, so good. And then I wrote, I will read anything this author writes.
Yeah. Because that's what I wrote in the, what are you going to take away from this book? Is I'm like, I want to read more of her books.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And also, GM Fair, if you want to hang out, like, I'm down. How do you take your coffee?
Right. But, I just really enjoy it. I will say, when I first started reading it, I was a little slower reading this one when I first started. But I think also it was because the last two books were just like so weird that like I just read those so quickly. And then also I just got off of reading Come For Me, which dragged on so much, and I'm like,
You had a bit of a book hangover.
Yeah, I had a
How long did it take you to read it?
This one, it still only took me what? I gave myself an hour through, so I would say still only like 3 days, but I gave myself an hour each time kind of thing, because I wanted to kind of space it out a little bit, because I feel like the last couple times I've just read it all in one go and didn't fully take it in, whereas like I was just like, okay, the book is right, like this stays open, I'm gonna write in it like every 2 seconds basically.
Yeah,
just to give me that little bit of time.
I hear you, for sure. What was the most interesting, intriguing, or challenging, surprising part for you?
So again, the most interesting part for me was really the whole connection with Monsters Inc. And it wasn't just Sully. Like, they even had the nickname Kitty. They had Mike Wazowski at the end of the damn book.
I did not.
I cracked up so hard. And then, of course, and then, of course, the bad guy was...
Yeah, he's like the guy that goes invisible.
Yeah.
I can never remember his name. But he's described differently because he's purple in the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he has like a hard shell. This guy's like spider crab-like almost.
Yeah.
Ugh. The scene where he describes him like...
That... So, when you have... Where is it? The most cringe scene... For me, it was just that entire chapter, the web chapter.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah, because it just says worst or cringe scene, and my thoughts were just like that entire chapter of web. But like, it really painted a picture, and I understand why that chapter was written, and I felt like
I needed it.
I needed that chapter in order to see where this guy's mind was coming from. But the entire time, I'm like, ugh.
I needed it, and like when the creep is spying on them, and he describes getting himself off. Like, I don't remember the villain's name. I just called him Crabman.
I just said web, but just because the chapter usually has their names at the top, and it just said web. So it's like, I just called him Web.
And I genuinely hated him, and like he describes like everything popping out. Like the author did a very good job of using like the least, like the cringiest smut words with just him. And like I have the worst / cringe quote for mine. I wrote, I plan to enter her at every orifice until her pores leak with my seed.
Yeah. I
literally was reading that and went, huh! And my husband went, what? And I read him the quote, and he went, nice. And I was like, that's not nice. He's like, I'm like, that's not nice. He's like, come on, babe, he's gonna just have to sleep with them, obviously. And I was like, you don't understand anything. Nothing. But yeah, I hated him. And I completely agree with you. But I think that scene was so necessary.
It was necessary, but like it was cringy, it was awful, but like it was so necessary to have because it painted a picture and it really made you hate him and be like,
love Scully.
Screw you, guy. Because otherwise, if they just brought him in as just constantly attacking and then like just say his words that he said in the scene with them
Yeah.
in the other chapters, then you would have just been like, well, that's weird. But because you got to have that one chapter of in his head, you were like, oh no.
He was so gross.
Yeah.
Like, and it was necessary.
My
Sometimes people write characters and they're cringy and it's completely unnecessary. This, like, every scene that did include him, I felt like only added layers to the whole plot.
And that's why I was just kind of like, this book could have been longer.
I was like very impressed by this author.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Was there a part that you found really interesting or surprising?
Not so again. So the interesting and surprising was the whole Monsters Inc. thing. Just because I could not get my head away from it because but I thought it was entertaining how they gave him
feelers,
the attachers.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting when they added that onto him. I was like, oh, where did those come from?
Interesting.
But
Well, he's got a monster anatomy, so why not, right?
Yeah.
I thought that him being half human was very interesting.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting them to go to like the light and it be a town. I thought when they crossed through, he was going to turn human.
I either thought there was going to be a town of humans and monsters, or he would somehow magically turn human, kind of like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
Yeah. So those were the two things I thought was going to happen, and then it just so happened that they're meant to be monsters and humans there, and then they meet.
They're just all happily living around each other.
And I'm like, oh, that's
I know,
so
it was
nice.
really cute. I was actually quite happy with how it ended as well.
Yeah.
What are you going to take away from this book?
Again, so I mentioned what am I going to take away is that I want to read GM Fairy's writing.
And then I wrote, I love spin-off stories. The fact that this was based off of Monsters Inc. is amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm in the same boat as you. Would recommend to all my smut girls. So good.
Yeah. I was like people who enjoy Monsters Inc. and everyone at book club.
So true. Did you have a like a best scene or a top quote or both?
My quote. Hold on. I just need to find it quickly. It was. Oh, so there were. I know this one. There were two. And it was, oh God, where'd it go? Oh, when she was becoming scared, and then all of a sudden she was just like, and then I was pulling, and she's like, "This is not the time, absolutely not, for this to happen." And then the other one that cracked me up was, "I'm comforted by the death, but that my death was one that I'd only dreamed, and my fantasies coming into oblivion, literally."
That was pretty good. I agree.
I thought those ones were pretty funny.
I went in a different direction. Like for me, my favorite scene was the fireflies.
Yeah.
So like he is terrified that the firebugs are gonna hurt him, and she's like looking away, and he makes a noise, and she turns around, and he's giggling because these fireflies are landing on them, and it tickles. I was like, oh, that is so wholesome.
When we got to there, that was when I wrote in my book, I was like, oh my goodness, are these two like not the most adorable?
Yeah, Sully was my
book?
favorite character. I loved his like character development.
Well, yeah, he went from this like monster is like need to feed, and then as soon as like his brain was coming around, you got to know again like the developing of the character, where you got to meet more and more of him, and
He's so sweet.
He remembers his name, he remembers his story, and remembers remembering his mom and all that kind of stuff. It was like you really got the backstory of him,
and it was in good pieces. Like it wasn't all at once.
No,
it was like little snippets that built him into like a character you cared about.
Yeah.
Which is wild because this book was 162 pages.
And I feel like this is like the first book I've enjoyed in a very like just I feel like we've been doing well with some books, but also we've been having a lot of letdowns lately when it comes to like books that we've been trying to read, whether it was book club or this.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was really pleasantly surprised by this one.
Me too.
And I'm so happy about it.
I completely agree with you. My top quote was, "Sure, he'd likely slit my throat and wear my skin, but the events leading up to the horror are enough to make my panties completely drenched."
I wrote that one down too.
It was so ridiculous. It's like, what are you talking about? Oh my god, it's amazing.
At one point, I was a little bit triggered because she was just kind of like, he could, where is it? I have it. It was like, he could take out a chunk of my arm and I wouldn't even care. And I wrote down, please don't take out a chunk of her arm.
Yeah, we've already had one female, like, FMC feed her love her arm. Let's not have that ever happen again. It's not romantic.
I will say, is it Mary or Marie?
I read it as Mary, my Mary.
Okay.
But maybe it was Marie because it's I-E.
I know people that pronounce it both ways when it's spelt that way. So I didn't know if it was Mary or Marie.
In my mind, it was Mary.
We'll say Mary. I'm so happy that Mary is happy and healthy now, but I think girl does need a little bit of therapy.
I also am so glad that he didn't ever call her his boo.
Oh God, I was very worried because she called him Kitty at one point in the book, and I was like, no,
that was a line. That would have been a line too far. If he had called her boo, I would have been like, absolutely not.
Well, I think also part of the reason why they kept talking about her blonde hair was because they didn't want a connection with Boo. Yeah, like they didn't want to sexualize that part of it, and I'm like, I'm so happy that they did that.
I'm glad you didn't do that.
I'm so happy you went with somebody with the golden yellow hair.
Yes, definitely. I completely agree.
Or like the light, what they call it, the light hair.
Yeah, because it was her blonde hair. He thinks is like light, and it burns him in the beginning. Yeah,
but like the light hair.
Yeah, it was so delightful. It was just a delightful read. And honestly, I liked the scenes, the spicy scenes. Like,
yeah, I enjoyed them.
I liked the spicy scenes. I didn't feel cringy. I was like, heck yeah, rip her in half.
Yeah. There was, and like, even if it was going to go to a moment where, like, you know how you and I talk about like cringy moments and stuff like that and spicy scenes, there were a couple moments where I thought it was going to go into a cringe and then it just didn't.
The only one was when he says like she can't fit her hand around me. I was like, we don't need that anymore, guys.
I saw that and I was just kind of like, eh.
Like we don't need that these days. Come on.
The one thing that I guess the only thing that I thought was a little bit cringe for me was when she said, "You want me leaking from every orifice and you expect me not to pounce on you?" I'd be like, "No." Yeah, she said that at one point in the book. I was like, not a sentence I would ever say in my life.
I was like in the last book when the girl was like spit shine. I was like, that's just fucking not what I would say.
Yeah, it's like I'm like that. I think that was my only cringe part in the book because I was like leaking from every orifice, and like we already heard it from the other guy. So you're like, eh.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I was very happy with this book.
I would absolutely recommend this book to anyone.
Yeah.
And I definitely think it was worth the chaos.
It was.
It was so lovely. I loved it. My end note is it was awesome. Pick it up as soon as possible and let us know what you thought of it. Because I gave it 5 stars. Yeah. And I mean it with my whole soul. I do.
I loved it.
If you listened to our last episode, it was our mini-sode, and Tyler and I went through a bunch of novellas by local authors because I'm a huge proponent of local, and Tyler has narrowed down our next book to between these 3.
Yeah.
So we've got The Rhino's Rose, Time to Stir Up Love, and Succumbing to the Incubus. And if you go over to our Instagram, you can see all of the covers. But did you narrow it down? Do you know which one you want?
Do we want to read
each of the synopses?
Each of the synopsises first, because then just in case they missed the last episode and don't remember what these ones are.
You want me to read them?
Maybe. I just butchered Scream for me. So maybe, yes, okay. I'll get you to read that one.
So, The Rhino's Rose. As a motherless, only child of a ruthless mafia don, I was destined to be leveraged, not loved, until one of the gargoyles on my family's century-old mansion came to life and saved mine. That was 11 years ago. Since the night he carried me off, I've lived among monsters in Fate's Falls, a mountain town cloaked and protected by ancient magic. Life has been peaceful and safe. I have everything a 24-year-old woman could want except romance. Sure, I've been on some dates with perfectly nice members of the local monster population, but none of them made my heart race, not the way Cornelius Reinhorn does. The hulking rhino man is tall, thick, strong, and dependable. I'm desperate to know if his gray skin is as rough as it looks, and I've spent more nights than I can count fantasizing about that horn on his snout. Cornelius has only been kind to me, friendly even, but never more. If only the big monster of my dreams would see me as the womanly flower, ready and willing to be plucked, instead of a sweet little rose, the shy human who can't squeak out more than a single word in his presence. I just hate that one little womanly flower part.
Yeah, I know.
Fine.
I know that's the one part that's
I'm like, ugh,
taking
I don't
it away
like
from
when
me.
women are described as flowers. Time to stir up love is, this could be the biggest catch of their lives. Marine biologist Dr. Marigay Davis has something to prove, and she's come to Harmony Glen to show her boss she can handle a big research project. And the idea of spending a summer in a lakeside town full of monsters sounds like an exciting opportunity. Until she meets Finn, a Glashtin, the dark cloud to her sunny personality. Since he's the only boat for hire, she has no choice but to work with him. What she didn't count on was being so attracted to the grumpy Glashtin. A Glashtin is like a half horse, half man kind of thing. Basically a man with a horse head. Who makes his living on sport fishing, something she detests. But who says love is fair? Finn prefers to keep to himself since his father died, something he blames himself for. He works the family business to provide for his mother and little sister. He's not keen on Margade. Margade is in town to track fish populations. Although he cares about the lake, he's worried she'll shut down his whole operation for the season. He almost doesn't want to take the job, but he could use the money from the government grant. And her bright personality, it rubs him the wrong way. How can somebody be so happy all the time? In spite of their clashing, he's drawn to her, and something deep inside calls for him to make her his. The problem is her project has a time limit, and she's made it clear that when it's over, she's moving on. Finn has to not flounder around. Can he reel Margade's heart in, or will she be the catch that got away? I love the puns.
I know.
And then succumbing to the incubus. Succubus is a different thing. Davian. I hate getting my hands dirty, and Emery knew this when he sent me to Brooks Orchard to try to strike a deal with the owner. Problem 1. This woman is the most difficult person I've ever met. Problem 2. I kind of like it. She doesn't make it easy to work with her. The more I look at her, talk to her, the more I want her, and I don't want a human. At least I never have. She's off limits, though, since we're trying to create a business partnership with her. Can I really just ignore the desire she stirs in me? Is there a way that I can do what's best for the business and myself at the same time? Clover. I enjoy my solitude at my orchard, but when a well-dressed incubus shows up out of nowhere trying to convince me to become a supplier for his company, I'm in no rush for him to go. After seeing his face when I reject the offer, it's clear he isn't used to being told no. After being more difficult, I realize it might be me affecting him this way, not the business rejections. When a storm closes the road to my farm, and Davian is stuck with me for a few days, we grow closer and something inside me changes. Do I have enough time to figure out what's going on in my heart and in his before he leaves for the city and we're stuck purely as business partners?
All right.
They're all human monster romances where the monster is the male and the human is the female. Do 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 do.
I can't get over this cover. I'm
Okay.
so sorry. And
You don't need to apologize. We're gonna read "Time to Stir Up Love" by A.C. Ruttan. Ruttan. So this book is 121 pages. Actually, it's not even 100. It's 119 pages.
if you're wanting to read with us and you have Kindle Unlimited, it is on there. Yeah, 124 pages. If you want to read with us, it's on Kindle Unlimited, and the ratings is actually let's see.
I don't know what it's rated. Yeah, let's see what its current Goodreads rating is. Since I use too many tracking apps,
It has 199 ratings and is a 4.3.
Oh, we're not allowed to read it.
We're not allowed.
It's too high. It's out of the threes.
It's not in the threes. We shouldn't read it. We've never read a book that hasn't been in the threes.
So this will be our first. Let's see if we rate it out of the threes, I guess.
Let's see.
All right, gang. We are so happy you spent some time with us today and got between the sheets on some super fun topics. We hope that you have a chance to read Time to Stir Up Some Love, and we will see you in about a week for our next episode.
So exciting.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
And that's today's episode of Plot Twisted Spicy.
Where a short book once again caused long conversations.
If you love this novella,
Or if you're still processing what just happened between the sheets.
make sure you follow, rate, and leave us a review.
Because your validation fuels our chaos.
We'll be back with another fast read.
And absolutely unhinged opinions. 1, 2, 3. Until next time, stay spicy.